All right, guys, let's talk about our new riff pick. I want to do a video about a review of our pick and also compare it to somebody else's pick. I've been kind of busy. Haven't been able to do so much hunting, and somebody has been very generously sent me a never say die, and I will do a review of it tomorrow in my next video. I have not forgot about you, but thank you so much for sending it. All right, but first up, our official Bourbon Chronicles, the very first pick from New Riff. Here it is. I'm trying to make the label in focus here because I'm super proud of the logo. Trying to spend a few days creating it, but then my buddy Brad helped me out with the flames. It's not coming into focus. So as I was picking up the pick from the distillery, they have multiple people picking it up at the same time slot, and some guy pulled his truck around. He had his own pick as well. We start talking and we just decided to exchange one bottle. So here's his bottle. I cracked it open. The camera's not focusing here either. Mehl. I assume that's his last name. Very impressive. Obviously we have a channel, so we're pooling our money together. This guy, I asked him if he was a company, like a group or something, and he was like, nah, that's just his bourbon. He was just like, he got a quarter barrel for himself, which is pretty sweet. Now, let's start comparing. This is on paper. Ours is 115.8 proof versus his is 111.7. So slightly less proof. Another thing is I've noticed is this: the pure sentiment. Obviously, this says barrel proof without chill filtered, blah blah blah. They're trying to warn you. So if you're trying to see any kind of sediments or floaties in here, they're you don't freak out. But there's a strong light right here, right? And as I was picking up this bottle, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a sediment, like a black dot at the bottom of the bottle that's probably the size of a dime. Now, compared to his, it's almost no sediment at all. Like if you just get it at the right angle, yeah, I see. There's a little bit of sediment. It's like a tiny speck. So, not exactly sure what that tells you about the flavor, but it seems to me that this captured a lot more barrel flavor than this. All right, let's get them poured. And one detail is actually kind of funny. Back in the day, my very first tour of New Riff, the tour guide said that they noticed that the best barrel picks are, if I'm getting a single barrel at the store, they noticed that their best stuff was around 115 proof. And what a coincidence. We did not know this when we were doing the pick, but ours came out to 115.8, so I think that's a good omen. I've got these, I picked these up. Oh, they're the cases. I delivered quite a few. I sent out quite a couple, but I have a lot here. So as these bottles have been trickling out into the world, I'm really curious to hear anybody's, put them in the comments if you have one, your honest, brutally honest opinion. You can be as honest as you want. It's not going to hurt my feelings. You'll find out my opinion in a second. So we have different proof points, different amount of barrel sentiment. Here distilled July 2019, ours distilled September, and bottled in December 2023, and we also have December 2023. His barrel is 20367. Let's check it out. You can see me pouring it. That's a good pour. Now, I don't know if you can tell on this web camera, but ours is darker. A lot. It's a lot darker, noticeably darker. The aroma, nosing this. I'm not the most. I don't have the most sensitive nose, but if I was to compare it, I would compare it to maybe like similar to Four Roses, which kind of makes sense because New Riff gets this has the same distributor for their grains and ingredients, so as Four Roses as well, so they have the same supplier. Now ours. You know what this is? What this is reminds me of? Old Forester single barrel proof. Just like a few minutes ago, I was nosing it, and then I was trying to like find something in my collection that's similar, and here it is. I was going back and forth with like a little pour of this, and very, very close. All right, let's dive in. It's nice, zesty, got a little bit of sweetness to it. I would say you can definitely feel like a little bit of rye tingle to it. Pretty close on typical New Riff profile. I was just, before even starting recording this video, I was trying to set my palate to the base level, which is a New Riff single barrel I bought, a year ago. Well, unfortunately, there's not that much left, so all the air kind of made it, a little aerated, so it lost a little bit of its bite. But I was just trying to taste like what the baseline is, and these two are not too dissimilar. Of course, it's got a little bit more of like a tang and a little bit more of a punch because this one has just been sitting there for a year, half empty. So. Pretty good. I think his pick is great. It's great. Here, okay. So here's a cheat code. This is from whoever was writing the notes at New Riff. I'm not sure. Like when we did the pick, we left these as is. I'm not even sure if you can customize these, but maybe the master distiller or whoever works at New Riff like writes down these notes, but. They might be customizable, but I guess everyone just leaves them as is. Aroma: spicy maple, cedar, and palate, resinous, and root beer. I don't know what resinous means, like having properties of resin. I'm getting a little toffee note. But what I would say is pretty unprofiled New Riff. It's very delicious. Um, However, a lot of New Riff single barrel stuff is pretty good, so I think I would have a hard time picking that out of a lineup if you know, pour 2 or 3 different New Riffs for me, single barrels. So moving on, here it is. Here's our pick. Like nose is like maple syrup. Definitely some kind of honey maple syrup, very like much darker and richer. I guess that's just the effects from all the just the barrel sentiment, how it influenced us, which is, I mean, it's still, that's like part of the reason why I'm like into bourbon, why it's so much fun, because it's like it taps into this what do you call it, you know how when you're like a kid or younger, you're like collecting like either some kind of collectible cards and like Magic the Gathering or something. You would go to the store and then you would buy a pack of cards and like they're like random, and then you might get like a super awesome card inside. So you have to like tear the pack open. You have to buy it, and then like maybe you're lucky it's like a bit of like, you know, it taps into our lizard brain of like gambling or something, or like unique or chance or something like that. I don't know the exact words to describe it, but that's like the part of like the unique nature of how bourbon is, how all these barrels like are sufficiently different tasting, so it makes like a fun game. Like if you like a certain bourbon, well, how cool is it just like buy a bunch of bottles, or just buy bottles, and hey, maybe one is like okay and other ones are like phenomenal, and just like you just want to take a shot, you just want to gamble, you just want to buy it. Just, is it an amazing bottle or is it okay, you know? Like if it's like mind-blowing, that's awesome. I want to go bragging, I want to go to my friend's house and just you know, share it with him, because it's, you know, it's phenomenal. Oh, here we go. 1 second, let me clear my palate here, a little bit of water. Yeah, ours is a lot deeper and richer. It to me, it has like a very different like start and finish. Um, and but overall, it's not, how would I say? It's interesting. It's fun, but it's not like a bourbon that, let's say, you got really into Booker's and you were to bring like a bottle of Booker's to like a Thanksgiving or like a Christmas party with your family, and pour a little bit for people that don't actually drink bourbon. Well, that would be revolting to them, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They'll just be like choking and just turning red, and they couldn't handle it. This one, it's not. It does not hazmat. It doesn't taste like it. It doesn't. It's rich, but it's not. It doesn't burn. It doesn't give you like this crazy Kentucky hug going all the way down. You don't have to be like a bourbon fanatic to like appreciate this. When I first tasted it, to me it seemed like as sweet as Woodford Double Oak in the beginning, and transition to like oaky, maybe Guinnessy, some kind of like spicy, rootish. Let's see. Let me check out the cheat sheet here. Was it in focus? I do agree with these notes here. I think whoever was writing them was pretty spot on. Aroma, cherry and dark chocolate. Yeah, this is it has like a not a milk chocolatey, but like a dark cocoa. Like, have you ever had like a chocolate that's just like pure cocoa powder that's like trying to like the healthy chocolate that's like avoiding like all the sugar? That's what it tastes like pure cocoa powder, dark chocolate, right? And mint, okay? Cherry, dark chocolate, mint. Palette, peppercorn, spicy black cardamom. Yeah, yeah, I do get oak in the back, like towards the end. I was a little concerned about picking this one. This was selection number 5 from New Riff because I thought a lot of people really don't like heavy oak, and it tasted really oaky to me. But I guess that was like the neck pour, or not really the neck pour, but just like it was straight sampled out of a barrel before we, they poured it in our samples. But now that it's bottled, it doesn't have some of the sharp edges of the oak kind of rounded off, so it's not so oaky, which is good. Yeah, so it has like a nice chocolate, dark chocolate spice. It has a nice little oaky end to it, which is nice. But I'm having a hard time describing like the sweet beginning of it. Maybe you guys, whoever has like one of these picks, leave a message in the comments. Like, what is it? How does it start? The best way I can describe it is like the start of a Woodford double oak. Maybe it's a cherry. Maybe it's like a dark cherry. But overall, I would describe it as like thick, like molasses, like syrupy molasses, sweet. My wife loves sweet bourbon. She loves this one, but it's definitely like nice, dense, and thick. Overall, I think it's fun to drink. I love it. I'm sure if people had to like choose between the two, I'm sure some people would pick this, but maybe this is more unique and interesting. This is more like typical, but still very good. So, yeah. So I'm glad we pulled off this pick. I'll be giving, if you ordered a bottle, I'll be sending you one shortly, or we're going to meeting up soon. And as for the next pick, I did a little YouTube poll, and I was thinking about I was actually thinking everybody would go crazy for Four Roses if we were to get our hands on a Four Roses, but I guess that's not so. The options were Four Roses, Russell's, Elijah Craig Private Barrel, which to me seems like a very solid choice, but overwhelmingly people were interested in Old Forester single barrel strength. I was surprised. I was surprised by this. It was like 40 or 50%, half the people, because I guess people's reasoning was that every time they try to get a hold of it, it's super expensive or it's like really marked up. So, well, you guys' wish is my command, and if everybody wants to pull our money together and do this pick, then I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna email some liquor stores, maybe trying to get a hold of Old Forester directly, see what we can do. Of course, obviously, this because the type of demand and all the hype and blah blah blah, this and that, it's going to be more expensive, and we're going to have to get, instead of doing a quarter barrel, got to do the whole barrel. So we're kind of raising the stakes here, but hey, it's going to be a challenge. I will say, even if some liquor store, because I'm sure, I don't think Old Forester deals with the public directly. I mean, I'm going to ask, but if push comes to shove, most likely I'd have to call a bunch of liquor stores and strike up a deal so like they would sell our channel, our group, this pick. And it's not like a quick payoff type of thing. It's gonna have to, we're gonna have to wait, and it's gonna be like long-term planning, and the words I'm trying to find here is delayed gratification, but it should be a lot of fun. So it might be 6 months to a year out, if we can, raise them, how should I say, actually get a commitment from a store, raise the money, put a deposit, or give the money to the store, and this and that. So it's probably a long-term project, but I think it's going to be worth it. So, all right, guys, stay tuned. And my next review, never say die. All right, guys, peace out.